Okay, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and show everybody some behind the scenes stuff. You know, the stuff that goes on the weeks that I'm not doing videos in, you know, with the greenhouse. But I'm going to show you how I pay for it. And I know everybody's heard horror stories about North Dakota and all that.
I came in at the end of it, yeah, and it's kind of scary, honestly. That's when I had my wife come up. We were just dating at the time, and she said something about walking from the train station to the hotel, and somebody at the gas station overheard on the phone and told me, do not let her do that if you ever want to see her again.
It's a good place to work. There's a hell of a lot of good people up here. And it's good work, regardless of whether you know, what side of the aisle you're on, whether you are against, you know, oil, you know, fracking or whatever. But this is what it takes to make the world turn as we know it right now. So, and I'm taking that money that I've made up here, and I'm doing something really good with it, I think. You know, we built the greenhouse, and we're so close to getting that up and going, and that's what I'll be doing full time. So, but I just thought it might be kind of interesting for people to see kind of what it's like.
What's it like to work out in 30 below weather?
When you're here, it's amazing. I can't complain.
Z96.1 and Dakota Country with Tim McGraw on the Big Butt Morning Show. It's 7:48, sunny today, high is 16. Right now it's minus 15. Wind chill advisory till noon. Get your requests in for the 9 o'clock coffee break at dakotacountry.net. Here's Tyler Farr.
All right, well, it's finally getting light outside. Gonna go to work. We're just getting ready for our morning safety meeting. We do it every day. And for breakfast, we had a s'mores Pop-Tart and a Mountain Dew. That's the North Dakota breakfast, at least for me. Yeah, I know it's completely unhealthy, but what do you do?
All right, well, I'm Josh Gardner. I came up in 2013 and 2014, started out on a drilling rig, and it was not the life for me. But then I found out I wanted to be a roustabout and actually build stuff and see what I was doing. Pretty cool, see the production side of it. And then I left for 2 years after back injury, realized how much money is out here, and came back, and I've been back for about 3.5, and life is good. I have 2 kids, I'm married, and I'm building a house, and wouldn't have it any other way.
Brian Cox, I'm from Central Kentucky. I've been up here this time about a whole month. I was up here for a few months back in the winter and got called back to West Virginia to work for a while. Mainly the stability is what I like being up here. I've always worked pipeline, and it's 6 or 7 months here, 6 or 7 months there. And I plan on moving up here as long as the market stays up. I'm able to keep a job. Aaron doesn't run me off. You know, it's a pretty good deal. I like it. You know, it's probably not for a lot of people. It took me until now to get used to the code. That was a rough deal, but you know, I was up here back in the summer, and it was, you know, 80, 90 degrees. You know, I didn't know what the big fuss was about, but then I came back here in the winter and figured it out.
Devin Wood, and I don't even know what to say that I do. I do a little bit of everything. Usually try to stay out of sight, out of mind. Usually run around helping the other guys, wrapping pipe, coating pipe. Sometimes get lucky, hop in a piece of equipment when it's cold. That's pretty much it. Try to stay busy.
How long have you been up here, Devin?
Been up here since 2014, August of 14. Went home for a little bit, beginning of 16. Then decided that was a dumb move, so I come back up here where the money was and stable work. And I've been here ever since, living the dream.
Where's back home?
Southern Illinois.
the right child car seat to make sure everyone buckles up every trip, every time.
All right, so I just got off work here, 20 minutes, half hour ago. Driving into Watford City to grab some food. Just got done eating, so I think we'll just take a cruise around Watford City here. Night number 2 of week 3 here in the Great White North, North Dakota. This week I'm staying in the truck, and no, I don't need a place to stay. This is by choice. Just gonna crash out, go to bed, and we'll do her again tomorrow. How many times in North Dakota since you've been here have you slept in your car? Any?
Yeah. Well, not here, but traveling to and from here, I guess.
Traveling to and from, I was actually one of the lucky ones that didn't have to. I always had living at a hotel or something.
I've got a lot of family that's up here, some that work for Hess now that have been up here since the boom. I've always known about what was going on up here, but work was stable until, environmentalists and what have you got a hold of the East Coast and all of that and shut down that work. And I've got a guy that was back home, and I think he said he stayed in his backseat of his car for about 30 days before he was able to find somewhere. One being money issues, and until he got paid, but the main one was, even then, especially then, there was nowhere to stay. There was a lot of guys that stayed there. I've been hearing stories about North Dakota and the oil fields here for years. I just never had a need to come up here until recently.
That's actually why I moved back out here, is because I had a job back home, a good paying job, but there was nowhere to live. And for 1 week we stayed in a hotel, and for the last 2 weeks every other night, hotel and car. I would sleep in my truck, and my wife and son would sleep in the car, and that was probably the lowest, shittiest feeling I've ever felt in my life. Watching my 1-year-old son sleep in a car.
Yeah. Well,
so I made the move.
Worth it.
It's different now.
It's worth it now, but
It's all worth it.
Well, it's Tuesday morning. Got the machine fired up. I'm going to go ahead and order a little breakfast while I wait here. So I think I'll have some hash browns, sausage patty, egg over easy, maybe some white toast. That's what I'd like to have. But what I'm actually having is a Camel Light, s'mores Pop-Tart, and a little coffee energy drink thing. Because I do like to switch it up. Instead of Mountain Dew, I like to have the coffee, and then I'll have the Mountain Dew. I'll show you just how cold out it is. Here's Mountain Dew.
Blinded by
Well, I went ahead and put on my big coat because it is colder than hell outside right now. I'm just gonna warm up the hydraulics here a bit and then track over, and we gotta get some pipes set in the ground here. So that's one of the other guys trying to warm up the hydraulic fluid a little bit, get the fluid flowing so the machine will operate smoothly. Track out of the way here. So here I'm helping the welder lift up his welding machine. He's having some trouble with it, so he need a little bit more room, so picking it up for him. You can see the wind blowing, and it's about -6 out, so that puts the wind chill at negative cold as hell. And look at these guys, no coveralls, no warm pack boots or nothing. They're just going to work and toughing it out, and there are some tough sons of bitches up here. So if you don't like the cold, this is a good place to stay away from, that's for sure. Well, just getting off work Tuesday afternoon. Gonna head into town and find some food and go from there. So one more day down. Bedtime. Pretty tired tonight. It's been a long week already. Not much to say. Anyway, kind of wish I was home, but I will be in a couple more days. So, all right, that's it.
I'm looking for a house right now. That seems to be the only issue that I can see. You know, there's housing, but it's hard to get into. And then some areas there's not any housing at all. There's one Walmart within 300 miles. I'm used to having everything at your fingertips, which everything you need's in Williston, you know, but it's once you get outside of Williston, it's nothing but drilling rigs and pipelines. So, you know, it's kind of a culture shock, I guess. You know, I'm used to mountains and streams and hills, and there's not a lot of that up here.
So what is compared to the winters back home? Have you ever felt temperatures like this?
No, I've never experienced anything like this. I'll probably wear shorts year round now when I go back home. It's you know, everybody back home's talking about how cold it is, and it's, you know, it's 40 degrees and they're freezing to death, and I'm just like, yeah, it's not cold at all. The roads, you know, there's not a lot of paved roads up here. Even though I'm from Kentucky, and I do have my shoes on, by the way, there's not a lot of I mean, it's rural. It's really my type of place, the kind of place I'd like to be, raise my kids. As long as the industry stays up, this is probably where I'll end up staying.
Clap your hands, Radio Land.
Well, it's Wednesday morning, and it is about -20 out. But all the equipment started. Man, it's cold. So, gonna go to work. Here we go.
Oh. I was like, what are you doing? Then I realized what you're doing.
So what's it like to work when it's 30 fucking below out?
My nose hurts really bad. Feels like a woman kicked me in the balls on my face. It's like, best way to explain it, if you've ever had grease splash up while you're frying something, that's what it feels like right now. But cold. Really cold.
It's Thursday morning. Not quite as cold as yesterday. It's only 3 below today. Got finished with our safety meeting. Everybody showed up perfectly prepared. Hard hats, gloves, steel toes, FR, fire-resistant clothing. Just gonna have to trust me on that one. Safety glasses. So, anyway, we're gonna do the morning calisthenics with the excavator here, getting it warmed up, ready to go and go to work. All right, talk to you later. Almost done. One more day. Planning on sticking around?
Oh yeah, I'll be here probably till I retire, if I retire, make it that long.
That should be next year, the money you make.
Oh, I hope so. ought to own my own company here soon, the way I operate.
Yeah.
This place is like a little bubble out here. No Democrat bullshit. Real Republican wise, gun lovers, American lovers. It's a place to be. It's better in Texas.
Right on. So what are some of the major differences? Mostly just the money from where you came from, or where did you come from?
I came from Washington and Oregon, and people get offended by the way you look, the way you talk, the way you walk, and big time money too. You can go work anywhere over there, but you're only making maybe $10 an hour, and they can say they raised minimum wage all they wanted, but they really didn't. They just tax you more. You come out here, you start at 20, and then you'll easily be at 25, 30 within a couple years, or you just find the job that does pay that. You just keep bouncing around. Everywhere's hiring. You just walk in and you have a job, and if you don't find one like that, then there's something wrong with you.
All right, so it is night number 5 of week 3 in the Bakken oil fields of North Dakota. It is the last night here for me. I'm gonna head home tomorrow, and I don't know when I'll be back. I'm sure I will be, but not sure when. But get home tomorrow, which is good, because I just keep thinking about the greenhouse and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and so that's kind of where we're at. Been a long week. Feels like a long week to me, but we'll see you in the morning. Well, it's Friday morning. This is the one I've been looking for all week. But anyway, last day here, so I'll be home tonight. Pretty excited. Yep.
What I noticed was the time frame difference, how I talked about like the growth and where I'm at now, but then instantly we were talking about the culture change for Brian and the weather that I'm adapted to now. Like, it didn't click to me like, oh yeah, I came around, I just looked in either direction and there's mountains on mountains on mountains and trees, and I guess I'm just used to it now, looking at a barren wasteland, something you'd see in Dances with Wolves. Like, literally, this is where they filmed some of the movie. And yeah, I guess I didn't think about that till Brian mentioned it, how desolate it is, and everything is not really at your fingertips. You got one Walmart, and I wouldn't even count it a Walmart. It's more like a wall or a mart. It's never stocked. You travel 2 hours to get to civilization. but
Either direction.
yeah, either direction.
All right, well, heading home. It's gonna be about a 5-hour trip, depending on how fast I drive. I usually like to get home, so, but I promise I'll drive the speed limit, or relatively close to it anyway. So that's that. Good fun, money was made, nobody got hurt, and all in all, pretty good week. So I'm sure I'll be back and do it again another day.
I hope this ends up on there in the bloopers.